Welcome, friends, to Bonnie's Books. This is going to be grandparents, about Grandparents' Day. Grandparents' Day was a couple weeks ago, but that's okay. We can celebrate grandparents any day. Okay, so first we're going to sing a song, and it's going to be Let's Go See Our Grandparents. Let's go see our grandparents, take us there for a while. Mommy and Daddy both need a break. We play games and we'll stay up real late. Oh, we want to thank our grandparents for all the things that they do. So it's time to say you're the best and we love you. Wasn't that great? I love that. It doesn't mean I'm a Mimi. What can I say? Okay, my grandparents' house is the next one, and it's to the tune of Mary Had a Little Lamb. I am going to my grandparents' house, my grandparents' house, my grandparents' house. I am going to my grandparents' house. We'll have lots of fun. Grandma likes to bake with me, bake with me, bake with me. Grandma likes to bake with me. We'll make cookies and see. They'll both play a game with me, game with me, game with me. They'll both play a game with me. I wonder who will win. They'll hug me tight before I go, before I go, before I go. They'll hug me tight before I go. We love you so. Okay, so now we are going to learn the ultimate guide to grandmas and grandpas. This is by Sally Lloyd Jones. The first time I read this, I laughed out loud, so I thought I'd share it. When you have a grandma or a grandpa, you need to sing to them and dance for them and paint lovely pictures for them. You need to scream and run away when they pretend to be a monster. Roar! And let them chase you around the backyard. Hee! When you have a grandma or a grandpa, you need to hold their hand when they cross the street and help them park the car. Look at the eyes on that. I love the pictures. When it's nice outside, it's good to take your grandma and grandpa on picnics and show them you're running and you're swimming, you see. But you must be able to see them all the time in case they run off. You need to teach your grandma football, let her score touchdowns, and then shout, "Good job, Grandma!" It's important to let your grandpa have some of your ice cream and let him build you big sandcastles like when he was a boy. You have to let him sit in them, and then you need to knock them over so he can do it again. You need to make sure your grandma and grandpa have their naps when they're tired. Sometimes you have to take a nap with them, so they're not the only ones. And if they're sick, you must let them borrow your special blanket. Aww, isn't that nice? When you have a grandma or grandpa, you need always to play with them, and sometimes let them win. You need to always love their dinners and eat them up, and always ask for more, and let them give you special treats you're not allowed at home. You must always let them give you presents and keep you up too late. You must sit in Grandpa's lap so he can practice his reading on you. And before you go to sleep, you need to listen to your grandma's stories about Blackbeard and pirates and danger on the high seas. When you have a grandma or grandpa, you need to let them make you things and tell you secrets about how naughty your mommy was when she was little. And when they throw you up in the sky, a good thing to shout is, "Again, again!" And then you let them tickle you. And when you wave goodbye, a good thing to say is, "Au revoir," which means you'll come back soon. But mostly when you have a grandma and grandpa, you need to kiss them, and you need to hug them, and you always need to love them. because that's what grandmas and grandpas like best in all the world. And they're right about that. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, one of my favorite authors is Mercer Mayer. And it's because not only of what it says, but also the pictures are hysterical. So here we go. This is Just Grandma, Grandpa, and Me. Just Grandma and me when we went to the beach. Just Grandma and me. I wanted to set up the beach umbrella, but the wind was too strong. What happened? He kind of blew away, didn't he? I flew my kite instead. Uh-oh. Right into the cow's head. Mm-mm. I bought hot dogs for Grandma and me, but they fell in the sand. So I washed them off. Oh my. Look at Grandma's eyeballs. She's like, how do I handle this one? I found a nice seashell for Grandma, but it was full of a crab. Uh-oh. I wanted to blow up my seahorse, but I didn't have enough air, so Grandma helped me a little. I told Grandma to take me way out in the deep water, but not too far. I put on my fins and my mask and showed Grandma how I can snorkel. I dug a hole in the sand for Grandma, then I covered her up and tickled her toes. I built a sandcastle for Grandma, but a big wave came. Aw. Grandma said that's what happens to sandcastles, and we will build a new one next time. On the way home, Grandma was tired, so I told her I would watch for our stop. See how he's watching? Okay, now we had a good time at the beach, just Grandma and me, and now we're going to find out about Grandpa, because we can't leave them out, can't we? My mom said I need a new suit. So we went to the city to buy one, just Grandpa and me. I bought the train tickets, but I let Grandpa pay. I taught Grandpa how to sing 99 bottles of pop on the wall, 99 bottles of pop. We went to the big department store. The revolving door went around and around and around and around. I think he likes to go around. What do you think? Think he got dizzy? I held Grandpa's hand so he wouldn't get lost. But he did anyway. You see what he's holding? Lucky for Grandpa, I found him right away. We took the escalator to the suit department. I told Grandpa to hold on tight to the rail. I looked at all the suits and I found just the right one. Then Grandpa helped me choose a shirt and a tie. I put on my new suit and Grandpa said, "You sure look great." Then we went to the movies. I sat close to Grandpa in the scary part so he wouldn't be afraid. You see him? Look at his hair. I think he's very afraid. We had supper in a Chinese restaurant. I showed Grandpa how to use chopsticks. Don't you love the pictures? You just gotta love them. Then we got back on the train. Grandpa took a nap, but not me. I couldn't wait for Mom to see my new suit. We were so proud, just Grandpa and me. Look at Mommy. Looks like he had fun. That's what it counts the most, doesn't it? Okay, and I have one more book, and it's I Love My Grandma by David Bedford. It's really cute. Little Hedgehog and Grandma Hedgehog loved to play hide and seek together. One day when Grandma went to find Little Hedgehog hid. He put his paws over his mouth so that Grandma couldn't hear him giggling. Where can Little Hedgehog be? I want to make a yummy picnic and I need help. Little Hedgehog giggled again. Oh, well, said Grandma, I will have to make the picnic myself. Little Hedgehog followed closely behind Grandma. I wish Little Hedgehog were here to help me pick juicy blackberries, said Grandma. When she wasn't looking, Little Hedgehog picked the biggest blackberries he could reach and put them into Grandma's basket. What a lot of berries! I already have enough for baking. Little Hedgehog scampered into Grandma's kitchen to find the best place to hide. Little Hedgehog crouched down low so that Grandma couldn't see him. If only Little Hedgehog were here to help me, said Grandma. Little Hedgehog giggled again. Then he licked his lips as Grandma Hedgehog poured sweet, scrumptious honey into her mixing bowl. Honey is my treat for Little Hedgehog, said Grandma. Little Hedgehog crept out from his hiding place. He tried not to make a sound as he tasted the honey for himself, but it was too good. Yum, whispered Little Hedgehog. Then he hurried back to his hiding place. Uh-oh. Suddenly, aha! Someone has been tasting my honey, and they left sticky footprints. Oh no, Little Hedgehog didn't want to be found. Not yet. Grandma followed the teeny, tiny, sticky footprints across the kitchen. Someone is playing hide and seek with me, she said, smiling. Then, I've found you, Little Hedgehog, said Grandma. But Little Hedgehog wasn't behind the rocking chair. There were only more sticky footprints. Grandma followed the sticky footprints out of the kitchen and into the yard. The sticky footprints went around and around, stopped by the flower pots. I found you this time, Little Hedgehog, said Grandma. But Little Hedgehog wasn't behind the flower pots. He was in one. Surprise! And Little Hedgehog giggled as he gave Grandma a big hug. Wow, Little Hedgehog, you are the best at hide and seek, and I hope you are hungry because our picnic is ready. I am hungry, said Little Hedgehog. But when he looked around the yard, he couldn't see a picnic anywhere. Where is it? He asked Grandma. You have to find it, she said. Little Grandma searched around the yard and soon found honey cookies, a fruit salad. Then Grandma brought out a giant blackberry honey cake. Yum! It was the best he had ever tasted. I love Grandma's picnics, Little Hedgehog shouted happily. And I love my grandma. Yay. Now, we always do crafts at Bonnie's Books. So today we did this one. And this is a great Christmas idea. You paint your kiddos' fingers in purple's my favorite color and blue is Dale's. So I'm Mimi and that's Papa Dale, and then the reasons why you love your grandma or your grandpa. Isn't that a great idea? And then I just bought the frame at Dollar Tree, and so it is a great gift for not much money. And don't we love that these days? You have a great week. Thank you for attending Bonnie's Books. Until next time.